Thank you for joining us tonight, ma'am, and our heart goes out to you. You hear this story that this suspect, Randy Taylor, has come up with. First of all, what is your reaction given the suspect that he has created? Do you think this person even exists?
I think he is delusional. I think he has just singled out pretty much every African-American male to make himself look better. I probably know my niece better than anybody. And when I heard Mr. Taylor's allegations about a drug deal and how my niece approached him saying that she knew somebody with he could buy some marijuana with, it made me sick to my stomach because, first of all, my niece would have never approached a man that looks like that, and nor would she ever offer to make a drug deal with someone. It's just not the type of person she is. And for him to accuse her and to try to make her look like such a bad person, he deserves to be where he is. And it's been really difficult to listen to other people's opinions, to try to take his side when he has no credibility. And I understand that, his lawyer is doing what he is supposed to do. But at the same time, this is an innocent 17-year-old girl. And if this was supposed to have happened, then why in the hell didn't he call authorities when he saw on the news that she was missing?
Excellent point. Excellent point. Excellent point.
It's just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I think, my family, we're already going through enough turmoil as it is and heartache dealing with this situation. And for that just evil person to put out such a heinous story about my 17-year-old niece, it makes me very angry.
Well, that's what criminals do. They lie and they concoct stories, and they have a tendency to blame the victim. How many times have we seen that? We saw it with the Jodi Arias case. This is what they do. It's called projection, and that's what a psychiatrist who was on our show yesterday labeled it as. What you do, you put it on somebody else. But let's shatter this story then. Where was your niece going? Because it doesn't make sense to me that she would suddenly stop everything she's doing to help out some stranger in some ridiculous deal.
Absolutely. I mean, I talked to Alexis twice on Saturday morning because we had actually made plans for her to pick me up so I could go to Nelson on Saturday, but I had ended up actually being already out in Nelson. And so I called her and said, I don't need you to get me. She was like, oh, well, that's good. Then I'm going to go home, change, and I'm going to head down to Lynchburg because I need to go get a couple of things for my senior pictures. And I was like, okay. And to know Alexis, to know she is a 17-year-old teenager who is very much about herself. So I know that she would have never destroyed her plans to help somebody else, especially someone that she doesn't know and someone who looks like that individual. He is very scary. And Alexis, she's scared of her own shadow. So it's just, it really is very heartbreaking and sick for him to even try to portray her as something that she's not. And for someone who, go ahead.
Well, again, we're deconstructing this story, which most of our panel finds completely ridiculous. But based on the description that the suspect offered of this mystery drug dealer, do you believe that Alexis knows anyone who drives a 20-year-old burgundy Chevy Caprice who has cornrows? I mean, does that match anybody in your memory?
No. I mean, I pretty much know all of Alexis's friends that she has. I've at least met them once or twice. And out of all the years that I've met her friends, there is no one that I can remember that even remotely matches that description. So like I said before, I think he has just really singled out a typical African-American male, that he feels that, oh, well, there's so many of them, let me turn this off myself and put it on somebody else. And I honestly, in my heart, feel that that's what he has done. Because, if this story so much as did happen the way that he says, then again, my point, Why didn't you call authorities on Monday when you saw her missing persons flyer hanging up and on the news? You had your opportunity to, you know, get yourself out of jail, kind of, sort of say, and you didn't do that. And it's until Wednesday that you want to put out some bogus story about my niece. I'm just having a hard time stomaching it, and it makes me very angry. It's just, I can't imagine that this sick person being able to do this to another young girl. It has to stop.